the true treasure. Once upon a time, in the enchanted village, lived a dog named Coco. Coco was not like other dogs. He had a nose for adventure and a heart full of curiosity. Every day, Coco would wander off into the nearby magical forest, sniffing out new and exciting things. His owners, the kind-hearted Smith family, often worried about him, but they trusted Coco's instincts and his knack for finding his way back home. One sunny morning, Coco woke up with an extra wag in his tail. He had heard whispers from the forest critters about a hidden treasure buried deep in the heart of the enchanted forest. With his trusty red bandana around his neck, Coco set off on what he was sure would be his greatest adventure yet. As Coco trotted through the forest, he met a wise old owl named Alpha. Alpha perched high on a branch and eyed Coco with a knowing look. "Where are you off to, young Coco?" asked Alpha. "I'm on a quest to find the hidden treasure," barked Coco, his eyes sparkling with excitement. Alpha nodded sagely. "Beware, little one. The path to the treasure is fraught with challenges. But remember, the greatest treasures are often not what they seem." Undeterred, Coco thanked Alpha and continued on his way. He crossed bubbling brooks, leaped over fallen logs, and squeezed through thick bushes. Along the way, he encountered a mischievous squirrel named Racer, who tried to trick him into chasing his own tail. But Coco, ever the clever pup, saw through Racer's tricks and pressed on. Finally, as the sun began to set, casting long shadows through the forest, Coco arrived at the entrance of a hidden cave. The cave was dark and foreboding, but Coco could see a faint glimmer deep inside. Gathering his courage, he stepped into the cave, his nose twitching with anticipation. As Coco ventured deeper, he stumbled upon a peculiar sight. Instead of a chest overflowing with gold and jewels, he found a group of animals gathered around a small, glowing object. There was Aphra the owl, Racer the squirrel, and even Mr. Pepper, the grumpy old cat from the village. They were all intently watching a tiny, sparkling firefly. The firefly, whose name was Glimmer, turned to Coco and spoke in a tiny, tinkling voice. "Coco, you have proven yourself brave and resourceful. But the real treasure is not gold or jewels. It's the friends you make and the responsibilities you uphold." Coco tilted his head in confusion. "Responsibilities?" Glimmer nodded. "Yes, Coco. While you've been on your adventure, the Smith family has been worried sick about you. They love you dearly and depend on you to be safe and sound. Your greatest responsibility is to them." Coco's ears drooped as he realized how worried his family must be. He had been so caught up in his quest that he had forgotten about the people who cared for him most. With a heavy heart but a new understanding, Coco thanked Glimmer and his new friends and hurried back home. As Coco approached the Smith's house, he saw Mr. and Mrs. Smith standing on the porch, their faces etched with worry. When they saw Coco, they rushed to him, scooping him up in a tight embrace. "Oh, Coco, we were so worried!" Mrs. Smith cried, tears of relief in her eyes. Coco licked their faces, his tail wagging furiously. He had learned an important lesson: adventures were fun, but he had a responsibility to the ones who loved him. From that day on, Coco still enjoyed his little adventures, but he always made sure to come home on time and let the Smith know where he was going. He realized that being responsible and considerate was a treasure far greater than any hidden in the forest. While it's important to follow your dreams and seek out new adventures, never forget the responsibilities you have to those who care about you.